Thank you. Now, I just introduced myself just now. I'm 62 with the black hair. It's all real. So obviously, I'm very much in the field of wellness. I've done 80 over publications, and like I say, 40 over medical and scientific book in UK and USA. We spent a lot of time on the research. My later part was only into acquisitions of centers and hospitals. And we started in 2019 to acquire hospitals and clinics, starting from Paracelsus Clinic, Luschmiller in Switzerland, to Villa Medica. And of course, today we have them in Santorini. We have them in Athens Medical Centers. We just set up another one in Alpina in Switzerland. And the list goes on. So what was the main causes for us to move into the wellness industry of setting up centers? Obviously, there was a huge demand for it. Now, through my 4 decades of research work and in this field, I come to realize there was one industry which is recession-proof. That is the healthcare and wellness industry. It doesn't matter it's good time or bad time or crisis or financial crisis. I never seen a situation where the demand for our products, which are all made in Switzerland, all our supplements are produced in Switzerland since the 80s, and all the therapeutics, all the injectables are manufactured in our biopharmaceutical GMP plant for the last 40 years. I come to realize demands just increased. During the COVID time, the demand increased 10 times, but all our centers are closed. All our centers are closed. It always makes us bankrupt. Can you imagine? In Germany, I have to spend 370,000 euro a month, and in Switzerland, 200,000 a month on keeping the staff. We have retrenched 0 staff. We have thousands of staff, and we keep every one of them. So there was something which was going to push us into bankruptcy all of a sudden without warning because of a COVID. And something came along the way. God was kind to us. And there was our demand for our products shoot up by 10 times. That was enough to keep all the staff at bay, 0 retrenchment. Everyone is happy. And my CEO was telling me we have to retrench the staff. We can't, we have to retrench. I said, no. Those staff has been with you for 20 over or 30 over years. You have to keep every one of them. I even have a staff who is 78 years old. He's still in the company. My CEO from Hong Kong, a chartered accountant, I have 7 chartered accountants. He was telling me he's 78 years old, you have to take him off. So I told my COO, you're 58, you're going to be 60, it's time for you to retire. You must consider the contribution of people who have contributed 30 over years of their life to the company. We have to value loyalty here. That is my way of doing it. And I continue to keep all the staff. Many of them has been with me for almost 30 years. So my background is purely on academic and research. I believe I trained 80,000 medical and scientific doctors in the field of bioregenerative therapies, which includes stem cells. We are the first people to introduce the first medical textbook for medical doctors in stem cells. And I remember I wrote a book on biological wellness, the common sense wellness way to treat, and it was done in Germany. And that book was introduced, and I didn't realize Deepak Chopra bought the book and put on the internet and said this is a must-have book for biological wellness. Unfortunately, I didn't bring the book here. There are so many books I have. I recently contributed to the latest handbook for medical doctors in wellness and anti-aging medicine. It was in November in Europe, and we wrongly put as $500 for US. It was for doctors. It was only meant for $200. It was all snatched up. So recently, another book on immunology. This is important. Now, why? If you have a strong immune system, then you will not have to worry about infection. But bear in mind the thymus gland, which is born bigger than your heart as a baby, it starts to shrink, and by the age of 65, there was no production of T cells or immune cells, and for that matters, you are under compromise with cancer cells becoming very strong. Because when you're a baby, you have strong immune system, they compress the cancer cells. So in my field of bioregenerative therapies, I believe there's a lot of things we can contribute where conventional methods are totally exhausted. So if someone were to tell me, I deal with a lot of cardiologists, they're telling me, even with open heart surgery, we put some stem cells there, we didn't see the results. I told them, what sort of stem cells you did put into the heart? If you put the right stem cells, yes, there are 700 over different types of stem cells, and not just one type of stem cell, which everyone thought it is. You know, everyone is saying, oh, we are doing the mesenchymal cells. But I'm telling the world, mesenchymal cells are tissue cells. There are 8 types of them. They can go for the tissue repair. But what about the organs repair? This is where we talk about the heart, the kidney, the brain, and everything. Again, with the brain, the most important organs. You have 67 different types of brain cells. They have 52 lobes performing 52 different functions. So the recent colleague of Dr. Michael, he mentioned about Alzheimer's. Okay, they are solution to Alzheimer's. Of course, you give the frontal lobe, that will do a lot of good job. You give the hippocampus for the memory, for the long-term storage of memory. So there's a lot of things we can do here. What about Parkinson? Again, you give the substantia nigra. You need stem cells like this. So we talk about targeted organ-specific precursor stem cells, and then this is the way to go. And that is the right way to treat. We always say you have to treat at the root of the symptoms and not just the root. So the same things go for diabetes, okay? Yes, you can go on the medication or glucofast or metformin, but again, what is the end stage of diabetic? It will be a kidney transplant. So we have to take care of the kidney too. The age of the kidney is 50 years old. The pancreas is 50 years old, the lifespan. So the way to wellness will be to expand the health span. It's no longer just talking about longevity without the quality life into it. So to expand lifespan, you must have health span. And to treat that, you must treat it at the cellular level. And this is where we have to look into the cells and the stem cells in your body. You're born with 37.2 trillions of live cells. There is one stem cell out of 10,000 live cells when you're born. By the age of 60, you didn't realize it's only one stem cells over 800,000 to 1 million stem cells. So you're aging at a very fast speed. By the age of 18, you only have 45% left of stem cells in your body. When you don't have stem cells, you will not be alive. So everyone sitting down here or standing here, you do have stem cells in your body. It's just that by the age of 65, you only have 5% left. I'm talking about a normal person. Okay, what about us who have bad lifestyle? Okay, and Dr. Michael was mentioning about the lifestyle there. Okay, yes, you have to take care of the lifestyle, but again, there is quite difficult to prevent everything. The only way to expand longevity is to do a reversal of aging, and this is what we have been doing. Someone asked me, Mike, can you reverse the biological age of anyone? My biological age is 48. I'm 62. So obviously, I'm doing a reversal every year. Can I reverse the biological of everyone and prove it? Yes. It can be proven by before and after or the pathological test. Before and after. You can do a comparative on all the different profiles. What about the glycan test, the Howard studies? All these can be done to prove a reversal of age, and we have been doing it all along. My later years was spent in MIT. I have a lot of colleagues who have been doing on research. We work closely with Harvard and Oxford and Cambridge. We have been funding Heidelberg University for the last working together for 42 years in Germany. So immunology and cell therapy is very much a part of us, and I enjoy what I'm doing very much here. So coming back to the wellness center here. Oh, how do we push this? Up, left, technical. How do I go to that? Okay. Now, again, we just love what we are doing if we continue to turn hopes into reality, and that is wellness. Wellness means you must be in top health. You can do everything without the pain, and you enjoy every moment of life, and this is what I see in life. My job, our job, all of you here, is to not just to make the money out of the wellness industry, but to bring life, enrich and heal life. That is more important than anything else, and that is what I believe too. So, having with the research we have owned probably around 80 patents around the world, and we have done so much things. I do not pay for front covers. I appear in 30 over front covers. I do not believe in paying any money. If someone will say, we need to put you on a front cover, I do not believe in that. I've been in China for a number of times, appearing in the foreign trade magazines by the courtesy of the Chinese government. The pointer is really not very good now. It's going very fast. Where do I? Is there a technical person here? I'm not going off here. Now, again, with the books means we have something to validate. We cannot claim we can do all kinds of treatments of diseases or disorder if we do not have anything to prove. And this is where I would say everything must be proven with science, and this is what we have been doing all along. Now, to date, I think we believe we have done almost close to 90 publications. The PowerPoints are a bit outdated. Okay. So education continues to be a very part of us. We love to educate the doctors, the physicians in any fields. But of course, it's high time to also to tell the non-physician. The best doctor for themselves is themselves. They are the best doctor for themselves, not the doctors for them. Because the doctors of the hospital do not have all the time for them. A doctor can only spend 20 minutes or 30 minutes the most with you during a consultation. Okay? So it's high time the patients themselves, the customer themselves have to be very aware of the wellness to treat them in the best way. Please understand, all the parts in the car cannot be replaced here in your body. You can't replace the parts. It's not easy. Even with the kidney transplant, you will not be for life. You still have to be under suppression drugs to control, and it will still go off during a certain time. So again, what do we actually do here all along? Okay. Our way is to do a biological diagnosis. Then that includes a conventional way of pathologies. That means the blood test report is important the last 3 months, together with the biological analysis of the organs. Are we all organ age? You are as young as the biological age of your organs. And the biological age of organs depends on the cellular age of the organs. That means to do the reversal means we have to look at the age of the organ. And when we add up, there will be the biological age. So it's important to do that. Now, of course, you're filled with toxin, like the previous speaker was talking about. Then you have to do the detoxification, okay? And you're consuming food every day. Obviously, you're also prone to accumulating toxin in your body, including heavy metals. There's heavy metals in your rice, in everything, even in the fruits, you know? So it's difficult, okay? Again, heavy metals in the environment when you do a renovation. So the only way is to continue to detox all the time. Of course, you have to do the repair too when you do the detox, just like colonics. You take away all the good bacteria apart from the bad bacteria. The bad bacteria will come back in the weeks, but the good one will only come out in a month. So again, we have to take care of your gut because your gut is also your immune system, it's your second brain. Now, after the repair, and what do we generally do? We have to do a reversal by giving the stem cells the right type of stem cells. Not all stem cells work, or to give some form of cells or some form of peptides. It depends on the affordability of the patients. We work with hospitals across the world. We work with thousands of doctors across the world in 80 countries. Because of educations, we love what we're doing very much. I believe there's a lot of things we can work with the Thai hospital here in terms of our knowledge and our team of educators who have been in this field. And I know Dr. Kampon, Professor Kampon, 30 years ago or 20 years ago, we have been always talking about stem cells right from the beginning, you know. I remember when I first came to Thailand, there wasn't any stem cells here. Same in Japan. I went to Japan, I went to Korea, I went to Australia. There wasn't anyone talking about stem cells in the 80s. But in the later part, yes, 2000s onwards. So you need to regenerate, you need to rejuvenate your organs to reverse the age. Otherwise, you will still continue to age faster. No one can stop aging. You can't stop aging. But can you do a reversal? Yes. You're aging not this way. You're aging this way, acutely down. You pull it down, you go constant, you start to age, we pull you again. So it's exactly like driving a Lamborghini, accelerating, you press a brake, split second, you press back the accelerator. What happened? You are delaying the speed of momentum here. The momentum has been changed. The same in aging, the same in all chronic diseases we have. So the only way to cut down the cost of the government, the FDAs, all the government, the MOH, is to make sure they have healthy patients, healthy nationals. If we have healthy citizens, means we are going to cut down a lot on the health costs. So one of the ways is to move it the wellness way through education to the public. That is my way of looking at it. Now, These are some of the things we do all around the world. I'm always a guinea pig. I test all the equipments. I attend 50 to 80 seminars a year, and obviously every seminars we give lectures. For the last 6 months, I traveled around the world 6 times. That means I'm in US 6 times, I'm in Japan 6 times, in China 6 times, because each trip is a single trip. And from here, I'll be moving to Vietnam and then to Pennsylvania again. I've been out of home for the last 6 weeks, you know. So there's a lot of things we can do, but obviously you have to do the repair. There's no way you don't do the repair, okay? Because all the organs have a lifespan. What is the age of your eyes? 40. Muscles, you start to lose at 30. Hair, for the boys, you start to lose at 30. So can you still grow hair as you age? Obviously, losing hair is part of aging. But can you grow hair? Yes. I'm losing 150 strands of hair a day, but I'm still growing baby hair. So that is the way to work it, okay? Now, can you put on more muscles as you age? You exercise after you're 40, you probably won't have the muscles or the abs. Because the myostatin will be released, and they're going to encourage adipogenesis instead of myogenesis. So there's a lot of things we have to look into. Again, your hormonal level play a lot of things, so we have to understand more into endocrinology, and you need specialists in that field. We have to work and share our knowledge together, and this is what I believe. I learn from everyone, and I think we have to share with everyone too, okay? Now, this is something I contributed to Cambridge this year, you know, in January, that everyone was talking about multipotent cells. I add something there about the tissue cells, the organ cells, sorry, okay? This is where we talk about the precursor cells. There are 700 over different types of organ cells to repair the organs. Every organ is aging. You need the organ cells. It's not just the tissue cells. The tissue cells will do the stimulation, but you need the repair. Repair means you must do the homing. For the homing, they must have the same molecules, the same proteins, the same amino acid. That means you must give the right types of stem cells. Otherwise, it will never work. That is the way to go. And for some people who can't afford the stem cells, give the stem cells peptides, the peptides of the stem cells of the same molecules and proteins. Please understand, there is never a solution for everything with only one. It's never an A for everything. It cannot be an A type of stem cell for A to Z diseases. No. It must be an A for A, B for B, C for C, D for D. Diabetes, islets of the pancreas, Langerhans is needed. Cardiomyopathy is needed for heart diseases. Brain disorder, neurodevelopmental, neurodegenerative. Obviously, you need different types of brain cells. So that is how we go with treatments of targeted organs, the way to go. Now, this pointer needs to be changed, okay? It's too slow for us, okay? We work much faster. Now, when we talk about moving faster, that means you must have a fast brain. You are also as young and as old as your brain. Can you make yourself more intelligent as you age? Yes, although you're losing 10,000 neurons after 40. I still believe you can still be more intelligent as you age by adding on the frontal lobe. And this is what I've been doing all along. To me, the most important organ for my health maintenance is my brain and my liver. Because we all work very hard. I work 16 to 18 hours a day. I obviously must have liver cells. I would say the hepatocyte. There are 75 different types of cells in your liver. It's a dustbin, so all the cells go there. It's not only a filter. But the right cells to treat a liver is a hepatocyte. You give the stem cells of the hepatocyte, and that is the way to go. Now, coming back to Thailand then. Now, stem cells has been with Thailand in many centers and hospitals. Just like the rest of the world, even in US, I go to US all the time for at least 8 lectures a year. Now, the FDA of the country may say, oh, stem cell is allowed for research, just like in Thailand, okay? But are the doctors not doing the stem cells here in Thailand? I believe they are. There's still a lot because there's a lot of demands. The thing is that stem cells, to many may say, is a future. But I always say stem cell is also the present. There's a lot of disorder that can be treated with the right type of stem cells and the right type of bioregenerative therapies. The word is regenerative. So you must regenerate the organs, okay? I have done so much in my life. And one thing I would proudly say is that I only have a salary all my life. I believe I generated multi-millions for my company, starting with 1 table, 2 chairs in the 80s in Switzerland, trained by the Soviets, that means the Russians and the Ukrainians in the 80s, and started everything in Germany and Switzerland for 30 over years. I only have a salary. I do not have a dividend in my life. I never declare a single dividend, and I think everything has been spent on research and acquisitions into research. We only do the wellness and healthcare. We do not do any other business. I solely believe in wellness and healthcare very much. Anything to do with wellness and healthcare, I'm always for it. And anything to add quality life to longevity and not just years to our life is very much important. So please bear that in mind. Is Thailand the right place to invest? Obviously it is. The Thai government is quite open. Okay, look at cannabis. It's in Asia, the first one. Before the rest are going in, they're still wondering, the FDA, whether they are going to put in a cannabis or not. But in Thailand, it has been on. So you must always be the first in everything you do. That's what I always believe in. Okay? So it's the same with Thailand. They are the first in a lot of ways, opening up. Okay? Today, the Japanese governments are also very open. All our injectables, it doesn't matter they're human stem cells or animal stem cells or whatever, they are approved in Japan. All our products are approved in Japan. We are the only company where all the products manufactured in Switzerland and Japan and in Switzerland and Germany are totally approved in Japan. So that tells a lot on the quality. Quality is important. You can't compromise with quality at all. You can't cut corners, because if you cut corners, you will not have the results for the patient. I do not believe in treating a patient just for the money. If you do not have the confidence to treat the patients, we better don't treat the patients at all. So we must make sure we must deliver. That is an important part of it. Okay. Now, there's so many things here. We have a lot of testimonials of American patients, even on autism. I have written 4 books on autism in UK and USA and contribute to a peer-reviewed journal publication in autism in UK. And there's so many other things we have done so much. Okay. With everyone, this is 20 years ago with diabetes. Wow, I really have a problem with this, you know. It's quite I can't even go. Now, so many and so many. Now, coming back to investments, I would say, what is more important? Do the right stuff. Don't cut the corners. Thailand is opening up, so are the rest of the world too. But Thailand is leading in a good way. I believe there's a lot of things we can do in Thailand, much better than in many parts of Asia. And I'm looking forward to work with all the partners of the world, because we all have to contribute one thing: make the world a healthier place to live in. So we must make everyone fitter, healthier, sharper with the brain, and younger, of course. And if you need to be desirable, why not? Okay? We are going to live to 120 years and beyond. Can we do that? Although all the organs are around 40 and 50 and 60, the oldest organ is 70, 75 with the liver, the lifespan. Yes, as long as you can do a reversal of the age of every organ, then you can extend life. Otherwise, you can't extend life at all. What's the point of having long life and sitting on the bed or lying on the bed lying on the bed and doing nothing? No. You must continue to work for the rest of your life. I just want to tell everyone, you can't retire, because when you retire, you can't do critical thinking. You will age faster. Your brain is like your heart. It needs a bit of exercise. That means you must do some critical thinking. Of course, you can work lesser hours as you age, okay? And that is my view, that investment in Thailand is wonderful. I'm looking forward with partnership with any parties. We have a booth outside, okay? I'm always there. We just opened a hospital in Vietnam. It's a 12-story hospital, and it's totally on wellness. It's a hospital, but we don't do ambulatory. We only do wellness. Anything on wellness. Imagine the level we went to just for making wellness to the next level. So the next level means, yes, better living environment is important. Knowledge on how to keep yourself healthy, younger, fitter is important. So we have to go with that. You are what you do, you are what you drink, you are what you eat, and you are also what you impress, I believe. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you.